Mo, why are you recording already?
Yeah, what are you doing? We have at least 5 minutes of schmoozing.
You ready to go or no?
Nice picture of him.
Hello.
I painted it from scratch.
Timon.
Hey.
Yaakov, your audio is off.
My audio's off?
I
There you go.
don't know. It's not coming through very good.
Hold on.
Okay.
Is that better?
Listen.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Jesse's in Israel.
Yeah, now we can hear.
I wish.
Who painted that, Abba?
Kelly.
Very nice.
From scratch.
Kelly painted the pictures, 80.
Pretty good.
Not that.
Yeah, it's
I
not
was
bad. You gotta paint one of Sviakov, that's it.
We'll do it.
Basically. But she hasn't called me. So
You know, the truth is, that one could pass the Sviakov too. You need a little bit more white hair, and then it could pass the Sviakov.
back to all the guys that missed last night. You were
I'm starting the Daf in a minute.
Eric, what are you eating?
Okay, ready to roll, guys?
No.
Not yet?
Hold on.
My new
All
brother.
right, Yaakov, go ahead.
What?
I want to buy pants. I'm wearing this pants.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Chazar from yesterday. Amud Gimel, right?
Mute everybody first.
I think they're muted.
Nope.
Simon, I did. You unmuted
I
yourself.
gotta mute the people that are sitting here, that's all. Where's Aaron Kaplan? He didn't try logging yet? All right, because he's sitting right here.
We're live tonight. We're live.
All right. Okay. Chazor, yeah, Daf Yomi Berachos is stopping davening for snakes, scorpions, and
Are you giving out free food over there? Why is he over there? Are you giving out free food?
There is, yes. Come right over here. Check it out.
Gosh, I never get the emails.
He brought it.
You could come, get out of your bed, and come.
Put the phone in your car for a minute and come. By the time we finish Chazzan, you'll be here.
It's not worth it.
There you go.
If your
Lights
milk
and
is finished.
sirens. Come on, lights and sirens.
Hello. If your milk is worth it.
There you go. Okay, anyways, Daf Yomi Berachos starts with stopping davening for snakes, scorpions, and mad cows. Then the Mishna says all the different additions for shemona, esrei, Havdalah, Mashiach Hamar Geshem, Saint Talamota. And then, so the Gemara first discusses why each addition is in that particular bracha. Then the importance of having das and the history of Havdalah. Started off with Havdalah and shemona esrei. Then when they got wealthy, they started to do it on a kois, and then it went back and forth. Then Amud Beis is Havdalah when Yom Tov falls out after Shabbos, which at the end of the day we said B'Toydiyenu is what we do. And then there's a Mishna, 3 things that we quiet a person down, right? If he talks about Shiluach HaKain, he says Maidim Maidim, and that we only praise Hashem for good things. Then the Gemara says the reasons why we quiet the person down. Then we said you shouldn't say more praises to Hashem than is prescribed, because even the praises that we say, Hakel Agadol Giva Anara, really is not enough, but that's what Anshe Knesset Agadol is said to do. And then we said everything is in the hands of Hashem except for Yirah Shemayim. And then we said one who says Shema twice is not doing the proper thing. So it's actually interesting. Where is it? Yeah, so Tosfos here discusses. So we say Hashem Elikim, and there's a lot of times we do repeat things in davening, which seems like there's more than one Hashem. Okay, I ain't showing with the Tosfos because tonight is a heavy night. So, I mean, the first plot is not hard. The second, once we start Ketzim Avarchim, I don't want to scare anybody off. Ketzim Avarchim is the parak about Brachos, and that is the hardest parak in Brachos. What? It's whatever. It's good. It's good. It's not.
What's the hardest? It's not.
But it's hard. No, some of the things are hard. We'll see. Okay. Let's do the first plot, and then we'll move from there. It's actually a pretty easy daf. However, lefnei teva, somebody who passes in front of the box. That's the literal translation. That means that somebody who's davening for the Amud. And he makes a mistake. Yavar acher tachtav. So we bring somebody under him, meaning we replace him. The guy made a mistake, we replace him. And the person that we're replacing him with should not say he doesn't want to be the Chazzan, which the Gemara will discuss that. Because the Gemara is going to say that you should, initially, when being asked to down for the Amud, turn it down.
3 times?
Yeah, so from where do you start? Where does the replacement start? From the bracha that the Chazzan made a mistake. Again, so you have a Chazzan, makes a mistake, we replace him, and where does he start from? He starts from the bracha that the mistake was made. This has happened on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur where the Chazzan's voice went out. Becomes a whole diyun. No, it's not a mistake, but they have to replace him. So
Yaakov,
yeah.
If it's a chosh of a person, you would still remove him?
If it's a chosh of a person, well, it depends what type of mistake really it is.
Yeah, what kind of mistake?
Right? But it sounds like somebody who's making a mistake and he's just not getting it done. So you have to remove him. It doesn't mean, I don't know if it's removing him so much because he's punished, we're just removing him because it's not getting done.
What's the mistake that he can't correct? He mispronounced the word, he can't pronounce it correctly?
No, remember what we had, like Shmuel, he couldn't figure out V'lam al-Shinim, and they waited for a long, long time for him to figure it out. That's what I was thinking. Remember a couple of blot ago, we said that Shmuel.
We don't remember a couple.
It was Shmuel?
Or someone.
Shmuel, yeah. So
Say the word V'lam al-Shinim?
he couldn't remember. He made up V'lam al-Shinim, and then he couldn't remember it.
Right.
So I'm assuming that it's something like that. I don't know. Was the article say anything? Okay. Anyways, weiter.
There, it's 7.
Let's
see what 7 is. He actually skipped one of the blessings of Shemona Esrei. Upon realizing mistake, he found himself unable to resume the blessing he had admitted. Why is he unable to resume?
I think the reason why he couldn't go back and do it is because he just got messed up in the head. So he lost it. He just couldn't remember what he was. Okay, whatever it is. That's the first case in the Mishnah. And the second case is also very interesting for those that are chazanim on Yom Tif. It's very negeya. A lot of chazanim are not aware of this halacha. The one who is the chazan, over lefnei hateva is another term for the chazan, should not answer amen after the kohanim because if he's going to answer amen, he's not going to remember where to pick it up for the davening, and he's going to mess up.
I guess.
Right. There you go. Right. No, that's talking about where the kohen is. We'll see. The main shom kohen, Elahu. If there's no kohen there, only him, meaning the chazan.
The chazan is a kohen, so he's duchening?
No. This is the regular. The first case is a regular Yisrael who's a chazan.
He should.
Okay. He should not answer amen after the kohanim's Brachos and yivarechecha.
What about the kohen, the chazan?
That's what we're saying now. The main shom kohen Elahu lo yisa kavav. She should not duchen because it's going to throw him off. It's going to throw him off. Again, this is talking about the times before Sidurim. That's what the Paiskim say.
What you doing?
Right? Vim hafta chasei shehu noises kappa v'chayzel tfilas erushay. But if he tells us that he can do it and he'll be able to go back to the davening, then it's okay. Meaning, you see that obviously when there's a person is a chazan, you can get very easily messed up, which we also said a couple of blot ago, that we don't want to stick in tefillas in the middle of Havinenu, because what was it? We don't want to stick extra tefillas in the middle because you're going to get messed up in the beginning. In the beginning, you'll be able to get back in. It wasn't yesterday. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so
it wasn't a long time ago.
Yeah. So Torah Rabbanan. Now, over lefnei hateva tzarich l'sarev. I'm saying, does the Gemara discuss? No, I'm sorry. So before that, Taisvis Layana Amin Acher Kehana Bnei Atiruf, right? The Gemara Taisvis says, why didn't you say it's a hefsek? How can the Chazan answer Amin to the Kehanim? It's a hefsek of his shemona esrei, right? So Taisvis says maybe it's not a hefsek, but there's what if a hefsek for the Chazan shemona esrei, it might be a hefsek. And then there's another issue, like the shuls that say the Yehi Ratzon, or Rabban Shalom, whatever it is, but when the kohanim sing, that the chazan for sure is not allowed to say. So if anybody is chazan on Yom Tif and they're duchening, the chazan cannot say that tefillah. And the Lamaisa, the Maskanas Advarim is nowadays that we have Sidurim, so the chazan won't get messed up, so he could answer amen to the Brachos. But the whole thing is not so simple. All right. And also that's why is it that the rabbi says Vakoyanim? Because some say that's also a hefsek for the chazan. That's also hefsek for the Chazzan to do it. Although some places do say it. I think Shifrak with the Chazzan does say it. Other places they don't.
Why, if there's only one kohen, do they not say kohanim? I'm saying, why don't they say nothing?
Well, because we're afraid he's going to be the only kohen to do it, right? Because he's going to get mavovel in his heads, and it's going to mess up the whole davening.
Also, everything is say kohanim.
Yeah,
there's only one
there's
kohen.
only one kohen. Shouldn't be done.
Just say kohen. Just say kohen.
Oh, I mean, why do we say kohen?
Why do we not say anything by one kohen?
Oh, I mean, why they don't call them? Why they don't say? Yeah, I don't remember. What's the reason again?
I mean, as a kohen, I should know, but I don't.
The what?
As a kohen, I should know, but I don't.
No, yeah, you don't need to know. The rabbi calling a kohen has to know.
Not a rabbi.
I know, so what?
Isn't
Call on the kohen.
Isn't it to coordinate them all also? So you don't have to coordinate if it's only one.
Maybe that's pshat. I hear that. Maybe.
Does the Chazzan say the tefillah for the dreams and all of that?
I just said it, man. I just said, the Chazzan is not allowed to. No, it's a hefsek. Let me just tell you something. It's boring up there it's boring.
What, during the singing?
Yeah, because you can't say anything. You can't. The Chazzan has to sit there and do nothing. Yeah, and the Chazzan's right in the kohanim's face. You got to make sure you don't look at the kohanim either. So listen, I would have brought up svarim to learn, but I just thought it would look like gaiva, so I don't. But whatever.
You're doing it right,
Tanrabanan, yes, talking about it. Tanrabanan. However,
you hear a lot of times the Chazanim sing also. They're not supposed to.
The singing might be a hefsek too. It might be.
Helping with the kohanim, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I could hear the singing be a hefsek.
Why is that different than you singing when you?
That's also shver.
Yeah?
The singing is shver. Singing is not so simple. Okay, we'll get to that later on.
I'm sure they'll talk about it in Shabbos. No, in Shabbos they talk about it. No.
And what?
Shabbos you don't sing or whatever.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
so what about after people wash and they sing a niggin while they're waiting for everyone else to wash?
See, that is less because really you really are allowed to talk. We just don't want you to talk because you're going to end up forgetting that your hands are clean. You may end up touching parts of your body or your sneakers or shoes. So they're really talking is not so bad. Yeah, before Amud. So singing is I would say that's okay, but that's a regular achas. That's what I'm saying, but I don't know for sure if I'm right. Okay, let's go. Turn on. Sag the Gemara. Yeah. However, anybody who goes in front of the table first, he has to turn it down. If you don't turn it down, so you're similar to a food that doesn't have salt in it, so it's very bland. But if you turn it down too much, you're similar. Then it's more comparable to a tavshel that has too much salt. So how do you do it? The first time you turn it down, shniya mahaviv, and the second time you start, you move a drop, and shlish is paishet is ragav yored. And the third time that they ask you, you go and you go down. So that's a Gabai's guidebook to how to get somebody down for Rabbit. Yes? Tarabanan. Shloisha, Ruban, Kashum, Yutan, Yafa. There are three things that too much of it is bad and too little of it is good. Or a small amount of it is good. Ve'eluhain sa'ar, umelech, sarvanas. Right? Sa'ar is yeast, right? And right, you have too much of it, it's gonna kill the bread. Right? You need a little bit of a starter, whatever, right? For Aaron Zweig's challah, yeah, he can fill you in on that. Yeah, sar umelach and salt. Also, too much is no good, and too little is fine. Little is fine, but sarvanas and turning things down. Amravuna, tov b'shalosh rishanis. If you make a mistake in the first three brachos, shemona esrei chayzel reish. You go to the beginning. You go back all the way to the beginning because all three are looked at as one bracha. In the middle, brachos shemona esrei chayzel atachaynin. You go back to atachaynin b'achraynos, and in the last chayzel avoid, you go back to ritzei because. Again, the first three and the last three are considered all one bracha. Ravasi Amar Emtzos Enlen Seder. Ravasi says no. The middle ones have no Seder. So you could just go back to whichever one it is that you got mixed up with. Masar Rosheshus Me'echanu Chayzer. Where to go back to? Mitchilas Abracha Shata Zeh. So you go back to the beginning of the bracha, right? That's what the Mishna says. Tiyuf to the Ravuna. So it's a Kazan Ravuna. Ravuna says you have to go all the way back to Atachaynin. Amalach Ravuna. Emtzah is kulu chadu birchas ininu. No, I consider all the middle brachos, right? The middle 12 or 13 with Filam Moshinim, I consider those one bracha. A person should not ask for what he needs, not in the first three, not in the last three. It's only in the middle. The first three brachas is similar to a slave who is putting in order the praises for his master. The middle brachas is similar to an eved who's asking his master for a handout. And the last three is once he takes his handout, then he says thank you before he leaves. Right? That's the basic setup for shemona esrei. So you think he's davening too long. So you think we only have these issues nowadays? And sure, they had it back then too. So the Talmidim told the Rosh Yeshiva, right? This guy davens too long. Does he daven longer than Moshe Rabbeinu? He davens for 40 days and for 40 nights. Well, it's like yeah.
But he was learning the whole third.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess there was tefillah involved there too. There was another Talmud, so he went too fast.
So there's nothing too slow anymore. 40 days and 40 nights is the answer.
Yeah.
You're not,
that's what he says. So then look at this part of the story. So he went too fast. So Rabbi Eliezer's Talmidim said, how fast, how short of davening does this guy do? Did he daven less than Moshe Rabbeinu? Right? That's by Miriam. Right? Amar Rav Yaakov. Right? Amar Rav Chisda. Anybody who's trying to daven with his friend does not have to mention his name. It doesn't say who Moshe Rabbeinu was davening to Hashem for to get healed.
That's a good Gemara.
Right? So you don't need to know the name. So you don't got to make yourself meshuggah. Hashem knows the names of whoever it is that you're davening for. Yeah.
You don't have that list.
But seems like the minhag Klal is also to have the list. I meant to look into this today to come down exactly what, but I totally forgot about it. So I apologize.
We won't hold it against you if you add it to tomorrow's Chazara text.
What?
We won't hold it against you if you add it to tomorrow's Chazara text.
Okay, I'm going to try. I hope I'll have time tonight. I still got 3 parts to go to.
Okay, Motzei Shabbos is also good.
Okay, I'm certainly not going to one.
Tiago, Moshe Dov wants to know what's pshat. We make him a shaberach with the name then.
Right, exactly. They on the 7-second delay over there. Yeah.
Parents, keep it up.
What do you do?
Twice already we discussed things and parents asked the question. Anyways, too much schnapps there, boy. Anyways, so we just said, I don't know. I meant to look into it today and I forgot. I apologize. Whatever. So that's going to be my homework.
I thought that was for the
Brachos.
WhatsApp lists.
Yeah. I'll have to do the homework. I'll try the Yeshua. I'll try tonight to Belina. Yeah.
Tonight over for most
Tanur Rabbanan, yeah. Elu brachas shadam.
I'm going to sleep.
Tanur Rabbanan, Elu brachas shadam shaycha behem. But obvious, this part I did my homework actually. I meant to do my homework on this next Gemara and I actually did it. So I hope I'll remember. Tanur Rabbanan, Elu brachas shadam shaycha behem. Right, these are the brachas that a person has to bow down. But obvious tchila v'saif. Right, in obvious you daven you bow down in the beginning and then Magen Avraham v'saif. I'm sorry. Ba'avis tchila v'saif, b'hayda tchila v'saif, right? By moedim in the beginning and the end. When ba'al l'shuach v'saif, kol bracha, u'b'tchilas kol bracha melam d'reisa shalei yishchit. If somebody decides that he wants to bow down at the beginning and end of every bracha, we tell him don't do it. Yeah. Now there is a difference between the moedim that we do by the bowing we do by moedim, where we don't bend our knees. Yeah, but we didn't discuss why. Why is the moedim different? We don't bend our knees by moedim. Yeah, Moshe Dov, you here? Yes. Okay, so why don't we bend the knees by moedim?
We do bend.
No, moedim, you just bow straight down, right? That's what we learned before a bunch of blot ago. You go straight down by moedim. You don't So that's because it doesn't, Moedim doesn't have the word Baruch in it. It's the only one that doesn't have Baruch.
I was going to say, it's a different format.
Baruch is a lashon of knees, of bending, so therefore we don't bend by Moedim. What?
It's a different format.
It's a different format. It's the only bowing that doesn't have a Baruch.
Aleinu also, then, you're saying?
That's the thing with Aleinu too, yeah.
But Aleinu, we bend on these.
But I think there are people that bend the knees, but I think Chabad bends, no? Oh, yeah, they're busy. Anyways, okay. So Amar of Shimon ben Pazi, bottom line here. Amar of Shimon ben Pazi, Mishum bar Kavara, Hedyut Kamoisha Marnu. A Hedyut does it the way we just said. Kohen Gadol beside Kol Bracha. Kohen Gadol bows down at the end of every bracha. V'amelech Tchilas Kol Bracha beside Kol Bracha. The king bows at the beginning of every bracha and the end of every bracha. Amar Yitzchak bar Nachmani L'didim Farshali Minei Rav Shmuel Levi. It was explained to me what Rav Shmuel Levi really said. Hedyut Kamoisha Marnu. Hedyut's like what we said. Kohen Gadol Tchilas Kol Bracha. The Kohen Gadol does the beginning of every bracha. Right before we said it was the end of every bracha. Hamelach Kimet Shakara Shuvan Izaykev. King, though, since he bows down, he no longer straightens up, meaning he stays bowed the whole time. Shenemar v'hikachale shleimel espalo kambalif name Mizbeach Hashem bechroya al birkov. Right, so it says that Moshe, when he's finished, he got up from in front of Hashem from bowing on his knees. So we see that he was bowed the entire time of his tefillah. So a king is supposed to bow the entire time. Fine. Torah kida halapayim. The word kida, it means straight on your face. Shenemar v'tikot basheva apayim aretz kreal barkaim aprikaim shenemar bechroya. I'm sorry, I did a run-on sentence there. Again, kida is on your face, meaning straight, flat down with your face on the floor. Shenemar v'tikot basheva apayim aretz. So Basheva put her face on the aretz. Kida, that's kida. Kida, but kida's flat out. When it says a lashon of kida, no, flat means totally flat. We don't do that. We're not allowed to do that. But that is what kida is. Kriya as al berkaim, the kriya is on your knees that we do. Shenemar, right? That's karim sham. Shenemar mechraya al birkov on your knees. Shtachava, bowing down to pishut yadayim v'raglayim. That's spread eagle on the floor, right? Shenemar have nove aniva mecha v'achechel shtachvus l'cha arza. Fine. Amar Avchia Breider Ravuna Chazina leila Abai v'Rava d'matzli atzli. I saw Abai and Rava who were leaning on their side a little bit, right? They didn't go flat out. Tani chada hakereya b'hoida hareza meshuvach. We learned that somebody who bows down by hoida, that's praiseworthy. Tani yida hareza maguna. And then we learned that somebody who bows down by hoida, by thank you, by moedim, it's no good. It's maguna. It's disgusting. I don't know. Yes, maguna disgusting. Yeah, I guess. So it's a stira, meaning it's a good thing to bow by hoida or not. So Gemara says like kasha ha betchila ha lebasayif. One is talking about at the beginning. One is talking about the end. Rava kara b'haidah tchil.
When you bow down, you bow from a king or from an audience.
What do you mean?
You bow down, right?
Right. Just blameworthy from Maguna here.
Blameworthy?
Blameworthy.
Okay, I don't know what
Where
that
does
means.
Makar come from? You bowing down because you're having like thankful to the king when you
yeah.
So that's
It's subordination to the king, really.
It's praiseworthy and blameworthy.
Blameworthy and praiseworthy. Okay. Like kasha b'tchila b'sayf. So Rava kara b'haidah tchila b'sayf. Rava did bow down at the beginning of haidah at the beginning. Then Amar the Rabbanan Amayko Abin Marhachi. Why did you do this? Bow at the beginning. Then Amar Lahu Chazina l'Rav Nachman the kara. Chazina l'Rav Sheshes the ka'abed hachi. I saw Rav Nachman do it and I saw Rav Sheshes do it. But Tanya kareya b'haidah harezu maguna. Oh, but we said if you bow down in haidah, that is whatever. It's not good. Hay b'haidah sheba halal. That's by haidu and halal. If you bow down by haidu and halal, that's not a good thing. But Tanya hakereya b'haidah uvaidah shel halal.
Where we in the middle.
Haidu, yeah, but then towards the end of halal. But Tanya hakereya b'haidah uvaidah shel halal areza meguna. That if you bow down in haidah and the haidah of halal, that's meguna. So obviously there's two haidahs that are meguna, one of halal. So what's the other one? Kitani hi b'haidah birchas hamazon. No, that's referring to haidah and birchas hamazon. By naida lecha, birchas hamazon, do not bow down then either. Right? It's exclusive for shemona esrei.
But you're sitting eventually.
So what? You get up, right? Tzaidah. It's a tzaidah. Okay. So the Mishna, Maspal v'tah. Somebody who davens and makes a mistake, siman ra'loi. It's a bad siman to him. V'im shliach tzibur hu siman ra l'shalcha. Right? If a person has a mistake in his own davening, that's not a good thing. It's a bad siman. And if the Chazzan then since the Chazzan is representing everybody, so it's a bad siman for everybody in the minyan. Amrullah Rav Chanina ben Daisa Shayim Mispal al Chaylim, and Rav Chanina ben Daisa used to daven on for Chaylim. This one's going to live, or this one's going to die. Amrullah Minayin Ata Yedea. How do you know this? Amrulahem Im Shagura Tefillah Sibipi Yedea Nishum Bakabel. If the tefillah is coming straight out of my mouth, then I know that his tefillahs are going to be accepted. And if it's no good, then it's going to be maturv, right? So Naftali, you're a Chazzan.
Oh, boy.
In a bad day. Yeah.
It doesn't apply.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't want the Chazzan to go up, but they put him up anyway?
Chazzan should not be a Chazzan. Bad. They say bad things about a Chazzan that goes up there if the tzibur doesn't want him.
He has to be Ritzel Kol, no?
Yeah, but what constitutes the tzibur? I don't like the guy. I think he's an idiot.
I thought that's only Yom Narayim. I thought that's only Yom Narayim that you have.
No,
to,
I think it's over. I think it's over. I don't know. I guess it goes in majority. I guess.
Let's say the guy's a chiyuv.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know.
Liner.
Many a shul have had fights over this, Paris. Many a new shul has come about because of this question. Yeah. Okay, so So which brachos does it mean that he has to make a mistake? Amar Rav Chia, Amar Rav Safar. I'm in the Gemara now. Hey, which is it going on? Amar Rav Chia, Amar Rav Safar, Mishum Chad the Bay Rebbe, Ba'avos. It's talking about making a mistake in Avos in the first bracha. Ika the Masning La Brisa. Yeah, those that learn on the Brisa. Maspalo. Well, nowadays the problem is that with the practical nowadays halacha changes because everybody davens themselves. So that's why it's very hard to apply these halachas to bisman hazeh. We're doing chazor sashatz nowadays simply because that's the minhag, not because anybody's being yaitze. So it is a little different. There are those that learn the brisa. Somebody who davens needs to be mechaven his liba with everything. And if he's not able to be mechaven with the whole davening, then should just be mechaven with one of them. Which one bracha does he have to concentrate on if he can't concentrate on others? Obviously the first one, which we all know, everybody knows this din, right? Because we concentrate on the first bracha and then we hit cruise control and we're moving, right? That's unfortunately the way it goes. At least by me. Yeah? So Rabbi Chanina knew who was going to live and who was going to die based on if the tefillas came out of his mouth properly. It's Bayri Niv Sfasayim, how do they touch Niv? Rashi says, if it goes out smooth, then it's going to be peace for everybody, for the Rachik and for the Korah. Right?
You didn't finish the pasuk.
What do you say? I didn't finish.
You didn't finish the pasuk.
Correct. Amar Hashem v'Rafaisav. Hashem says, and v'Rafaisav, and then he's going to heal them. Yeah. So if everything from the lips is working smooth, then it's going to
of the lips.
Right. So
if he's not breaking his teeth,
and it goes smooth, then it's going to be shalom to the Rachel Karav, and Hashem said, and he's going to heal. Okay. So you see, if it goes smooth, Hashem's going to heal. Amar Rav Chia bar Amar Yochanan Kol Neviim Kulon Loinus Navu Elu Lamasi Bitul Talmud Chacham. All the niviim, all they did was have nevuah about somebody marrying his daughter off to a Talmud Chacham. And to do business for a Talmud Chacham, and to be Mahana Talmud Chacham with your belongings, meaning to support, meaning getting Talmud Chacham involved in your business dealings, and to be Mahana. There's a movement out there that people that are doing business dealings, what they do is they take Talmud Chacham as a partner in the deal. And they say they're going to support him from this, and then a lot of people see a lot of atzlacha with that. I don't know the people that don't have atzlacha from it, but there are many people that do that. Yeah. Right. So that's what some people do, right? But how about Talmidei Chacham themselves? That's all for people that they're dealing with Talmidei Chacham. But Talmidei Chacham themselves, right? I will not see how great that it's going to be for what the Talmidei Chacham are going to get. Meaning that they never said nevuah about it because it seems like it's off the charts what's going to be for Talmidei Chacham, right? That's what Rashi says. Lo niras v'lo niklas l'shum navi. No navi was even able to see how much reward is going to be for the Talmidei Chacham themselves. The niviim were able to say nivius about what's going to be in Yemais Mashiach, but for Olam Haba, it's Ayin Leiras El Kim Zelasecha. Pliga the Shmuel, the Amar Shmuel ain't bein Olam Hazel El Yemais Mashiach. There's no difference between Olam Hazen and Mashiach's times. El Shibud Malchus Levad, just that we're not going to be under the Goyim's control. Shenemar Ki Le'yachta Levi Mekerav Aretz. Yeah, so that's a very interesting machlokes, right? According to Shmuel, there's no difference between Mashiach and after Mashiach. It's going to be the same thing. We're just not going to have to deal with the governments. Right? They only said Nevi'as for Bali Tshuva, not for Bali Tshuva, about Bali Tshuva, meaning people that did Tshuva. But Tzadikim Gemurim have way more schar than people that do Tshuva, meaning Tzadikim Gemurim that never did anything wrong, right? And that's so much that the Nevi'im couldn't say Nevi'as about it. Upliga the Rabavo, and he disagrees with Rabavo, Damar Rabavo, right? The famous line, Malkum Shabali Tshuva, Aimdin, Tzadikim Gemurim, Einam Aimdin. The place that Bali Tshuva stands, Tzadikim Gemurim can't stand. Shenemar Shalom Shalom L'Rochik L'Karev. L'Rochik Bereisha V'Hadu L'Karev, right? So the end of that pasuk. So it says Rochik comes first and then Karev. So those that were distant and came back come before those that are Karev. Rabbi Yochanan
I understand what Tzadikim Gemurim is saying, you know?
Correct. But they never had the nisyainus of coming back. That's the machlokes, right? Rabbi Yochanan Amar Lach, my rochik shaya rochik mitvar avera meikara. Rochik means that they were far away from averas from the beginning. My karav shaya karav l'dvar avera v'nisrachim minu. And karav means that they were close to averas and then they distanced themselves from it. My ayin le'rasa Amar Rav Yeshua ben Levi zeh yayin hamashumer ba'anav misheshes me'berachos. What is ayin le'rasa? What is that referring to? That's referring to yayin that's from grapes that were from sheshes me'berachos. Right. So I guess those are very good grapes. Yeah, Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani Amar Ze Eden Shaloi Shalta by Ayin. That's Gan Eden that no eye has ever seen, right? Shaloi Shalta by Ayin. Right? What?
Those grapes.
No. Now he's talking about Gan Eden.
Oh.
Rabbi Shmuel Nachmani is saying different shot. Ze Eden Shaloi Shalta by Ayin Kolveria. Right? No eye of any living thing has seen it. Shema Toimer Adam Rishon Heichen Haya Began. Right? So how was Adam Rishon was in Gan Eden? V'Shem Timer who Eden? Then you would think that Gan is Eden. Tamaloimer ben Har Yotzim Eden. Lahashkes is a Gan. Gan Lechud ve'Eden Lechud. There were two different things. There was Gan and there was Eden. So Gan he was in, Eden he was not. Okay.
So it's not Gan Eden?
Here it said the Gemara here is saying it's two different things. Gan and Eden.
Yaakov, this Bali Tshuva they're talking about. This is somebody who was from and then went not from and then became from. Correct?
It's down. I'm not so sure. Why are you saying that?
I thought that's what it means about tshuva. The guy who was never from his whole life and then became from, not about tshuva. Is a teenager.
Well, I understand. What's the difference if it's a guy who was from, went off and came back, or a guy who was not from and came back?
Because that's a teenager. Shenishpa. He never knew better. It's not about tshuva.
It depends. Some are, some are not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Tanarabana. Ma'aser shechala b'noisha Rabbi Gamliel, as there was a story that Rabbi Gamliel's son got sick. Shagar shnei tamid l'cham etzu Rabbi Chanina ben Daisa l'vakash l'Brachos. So he sent two tamid l'cham to Rabbi Chanina ben Daisa that he should ask for racham. Kimin shara isam, since he saw them. Alal aliyah, he went upstairs. Ubike shalav rachamim, and he asked for rachamim from Hashem. V'yiradasei amalem l'chu shechatzasei chama. Go. And the fever broke. Rabbi Gamliel's son's fever broke. Are you a Navi? I'm not a Navi and I'm not the son of a Navi. This is my Kabbalah. If the tefillah is very smooth in my mouth, then I know it's accepted. Then I know it's torn up. So they sat down and they wrote down exactly what time it was that he came down from the attic, and he said his fever broke. And when they came to Rabbi Gamliel, this is the avodah. There's nothing less and nothing more. Meaning this, they said over the story exactly the way it was. And this was the Maisa, and at that time, That's exactly when his fever broke. And Gamaliel's son asked us for water to drink. Right? So you see that they knew it was the exact same time. So it's another story of Chanina B'Daisa that he knew when his tefillos were accepted and when they were not, based on how smooth it went. Another Maisa, he went to learn Torah by Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. And Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai's son got sick. Please ask him for rachamim. He should live. He put his head between his knees. And he asked for rachamim and he lived. All right. So Amr of Yochanan ben Zakkai ilmale Yetiach ben Zakkai es Roisha ben Birkov kalayim kuli lo'hayu mashkichim alav. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said about himself, had I put my head by my knees and davened all day, they wouldn't have listened to me. Okay? He said about himself. What?
What's it putting head by
That's
knees?
a way. That's a way of davening. That's the way. That's the way.
Right? I told you that the cook put his head by his knees, and that's the way as the
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. That's if somebody else's head by his knees. I don't know. That's the way of putting your. You put your head down and you daven. That's what I think it means. So of course, so this is interesting. So of course, his wife. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, I wasn't so great. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai's wife said to him, is Chanina Daisa bigger than you? And she's getting nervous that her husband is not as big a rabbi. Right? No, it's not true. He's similar to an Evan in front of a king, and I am similar to an officer in front of the king. Right? What does that mean? What does it mean? Meaning Rashi says an Eved is a ben bias. He's going in and out of the king. So when he needs to daven for something from the king, so Chanina ben Daisa was constantly davening by Hashem. So he went in and out of the Kisei HaKavod, whatever it is. So he was very well accepted. They listened to him. But me, he says, I'm an officer, so I'm busy with the Klau's work. I don't have time to go into Hashem as much. So therefore I'm not as rugged. So he has, like sometimes when you want to get into the big rabbi, who do you go to? You don't go to another big rabbi. You go to the guy who's in charge of sweeping the floor, whatever, the guy who's the lower level rabbi, and he sneaks you in. Right? That's the way I understand it. Okay? You should only daven in a house that has windows. What? Well, this is based on that Mishna. So by Daniel, he had these openings in his upstairs that opened up towards Yerushalayim. Yeah. It's a chutzpah. Anybody that davens in an open field, it's a chutzpah to do that. It's a chutzpah. Anybody who explains what he did wrong. Praise if somebody did praise if somebody does an avera. He does an avera, but he hides the chet, right? Meaning, so the Gemara is saying, don't be. A lot of times people do something wrong, and they show that they don't regret it so much because they're just not embarrassed to say it. You gotta be embarrassed to say your averas. Yeah, Simon, what we got going over there? Making a siyum on this parak?
Does everyone hold that you're not allowed to daven outside?
Yes.
Because I have a friend that went to some cracked out yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael, and they used to have a couple of hours of machshava and tefillah in the woods.
I don't know what machshava you could have in the woods. Tefillah you cannot.
They combine the machshava and tefillah time. It's a weird place.
His brother is be a breastwarmer.
You're talking about his this. Come on.
No, but you can't daven. It's not so simple to daven outside.
How do we daven outside?
What do you consider? What are you talking about davening? What do you mean davening? Actually, tefillah, like the
yeah. No, I'm talking about actual tefillah.
We never daven in the field anywhere.
No. You don't daven in a field, whatever. If you got to daven up against the wall.
In the parking lot, what's it called? The open area over there.
There's a wall there. Officially, there's a wall there. Yeah, Nechanami. I don't know what
We
they
don't make
did at
we
rest
have them
stop.
parking on the side of the road. when they're on
You
trips.
should go to. You should if you don't have a choice. I don't know. You're supposed to go to a place that it's more constricted because you want to feel. I can't say understand it. You want to go to a place that has walls and roof.
Birchas Hashem, we did, but it was a big
That's not
field.
tefillah. That's not tefillah. That's not tefillah. That's what thanking Hashem for the new month.
I don't know. We
acknowledging
we
the
didn't have,
nuance.
on my block. We didn't have a house once. We davened outside of the street.
Okay, so you should daven by next to a wall.
What
Okay.
about a tree? What about a tree or a fence? What about a tree or a fence?
Tree or a fence is yes, that's better. That's definitely better.
I mean, the breast lovers, the nanaks that go out to the woods and scream at the trees.
Is that so?
They're not doing anything wrong then, right?
If they're davening up against trees, then it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, before they're not, but I mean,
I don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Why wouldn't davening up against the tree count as a chashash of avodah zarah? If I saw someone praying outside in front of a tree, I would think it was avodah zarah. I'm surprised that's not mentioned.
No different than going based on
I
cars.
hear. I don't know. I never thought about that.
In Israel, these pictures of the in the army out in nowhere davening.
If you have no choice, you got to daven. You know what I'm saying? You have no choice. But the lechatchila is you don't go daven in fields. It's a hard thing to understand because like people go and they want to sit by the ocean and daven to Hashem. They get so inspired. Yeah, you can't do it. You know, they're not allowed to do it.
Okay.
So is it better, like when you go to one of these restaurants, it's better to daven inside a car?
No, not a minion. That's supposed to be a minion.
It's probably better daven inside a car. Whether that's doich a minion, I'm not sure. Whether that's doich a minion, I don't know.
No, I'm not talking. No, I'm saying not minion. Yeah.
Away from the cemetery.
what about
He did it, but it was outside. He didn't say
What about
anything.
what about like going to the Mets game where they have the open air stadium and whatever they daven?
I don't believe anybody should be davening anything at a ball game. Personally, I don't think that's anything right.
Did you see the video of the Super Bowl minion?
Listen,
No, I didn't see it, and I'm not.
we
so
got to
sure
do
I wanna
another
see it.
half a block.
What?
We got to do another half a block.
All right.
Have a
well,
coffee, relax.
Well, let me tell you, watch out, because this next Amud here is not so easy. All right.
We didn't do the Hadron yet.
Oh, Hadron Loch Ein Oimdin. Yes.
Fine.
Okay. Mazel tov to the Oilam. Yes. Peretz, another L'chaim. Peretz.
Chaim.
Jesse, L'chaim. Here we go. All right. Naftali, no L'chaim.
My
Only
wife
in
doesn't let
public.
food up in the room. I don't know. It's crazy.
All right. And Abba, I don't know. Abba, yeah. He's down and out, Abba. Okay. Anyways, okay, weiter. Yeah, Ketzam Mevorchen. No, make another bracha. L'kovid Ketzam Mevorchen. Yeah. Ketzam Mevorchen, right?
It's so appropriate for Tu B'Shvat.
Parents can know how to hold stuff.
Ketzam Mevorchen ala Paris. How do you make a bracha on Paris? Ala Paris the Elon who Aimer Bayre Priya Eitz. Right? On Paris the Elon you make Bayre Priya Eitz. Chutzim and Ayayin, except for Yayin, Shal Yayin who Aimer Bayre Priya Gofen. But on Yayin you make Bayre Priya Gofen. We'll see in the Gemara. Al Paris Haaretz who Aimer Bayre Priya Adama. On Paris of the land, meaning vegetables, you make Bayre Priya Adama. Chutzim and Apas, except for bread, even though bread l'chayra is coming from the ground. Shalapas who Aimer Hamatzid Lechem in Haaretz. Al Yirakas who Aimer Bayre Priya Adama. I'm sorry, what did I say? Paris Haaretz. Yeah, on vegetables you also say Bayre Priya Adama. Rabbi Yehuda Bayre Mine Dishaim. That he created different types of growth. Okay, we'll see in the Gemara all these shittas. Minani Mili. So now this gets a little bit technical. This next Gemara here. Minani Mili. How do you know that? What?
Deshayim would be like herbage, right? Like the article says herbage, meaning like you're looking at like what do you call it? Lettuces and stuff like that. No.
I think what it means to include everything. Rashi says kidneys, right? Rashi says kidneys. But the point is that Rabbi Yehuda, Rashi says kidneys, but Rabbi Yehuda says by heker bracha l'chol min u'min. Basically, what Rabbi Yehuda is saying is that you need something recognizable for each and every type of growth. It needs its own thing.
You would make Adama like a zucchini.
Well,
why would you make that, according to the Mishna at least, why would you make it on collard greens, let's say?
I don't know, because the Gemara later on seems to say that you shouldn't make any bracha on vegetables because that doesn't do anything for anybody. I'm telling you. So we have to really wait and see the Gemara. That was the Gemara right after my heart, let me tell you. Okay. So we'll wait till we get to the Gemara about that. Yeah, I'm sure you're not eating vegetables over there, Simon.
Golden puffs.
There you go. Cereal.
Puffed wheat.
How the mighty have fallen. Okay. Okay. And
What happened to you, man? You move out of New York, and now that's what you're eating. What happens to eating a cow right off of the shifting?
Okay.
I had to go to Chicago to go get meat.
You moved to South Bend, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you know that you're supposed to make brachos? The Tanur Rabbanan Kodesh Hilul Hashem. Kodesh, you praise Hashem. That teaches us that you need a bracha before and you need a bracha after. Mikan, this if you don't get this Gemara, just stay tuned for the end. The end Gemara, you'll the Maskonas Advarim. It's easy to understand. But right now, the Gemara is going to take off here. Okay, so again, Kodesh Ulam Lashem Alamet Shatuna Bracha Lefneim Ulachrein. Mikan Omer Rabbi Kiva Asar Ladam Shiitam Klum Kodem Shivarich. It's Asar to taste anything before you make a bracha. Right now, that's people don't understand it because they hear the halacha that you have to have a certain amount in order to say birchas hamazon. That is true. If you don't have a certain amount of food, then you don't make alamichya, you don't make a birchas hamazon. But for tasting, even you taste anything, you have to make a bracha. What we learned before, just tasting and spitting out, you don't make a bracha. But meaning, if you're eating anything, even the tiniest drop of food, a bracha rishona must be made. Okay, so now the Gemara is going to ask that maybe we can't learn that from this pasuk Kodesh Ilulim. We need this Kodesh Ilulim for something else. Now this Kodesh Ilulim is a pasuk by Neter Ravai, which is after the first 3 years that you can't use the growth from trees, right? So the 4th year you got to bring the peiros up to Yerushalayim. That's where the Kodesh Ilulim Lashem is talking about. So now the Gemara is going to say we need Kodesh Ilulim Lashem for a different limud. We need it for 2 reasons. That you need to make the fruit chulin before you're allowed to eat it. Make it into chulin and then eat it. Meaning, when you take the 4th year growth up to Yerushalayim, you gotta take it and be mechalel it. Meaning, to say this fruit is kedusha, put it onto a different fruit, and then you could eat that fruit. And the other thing we need it for is davar ton shira ton chilul v'she'enu ton shira ein ton chilul. Something that requires shira needs chilul, and something that does not require shira doesn't need chilul. What does that mean? Because Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani Amar Rav Yonasan, Damar Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmani Amar Rav Yonasan, Minayin she'ein amar shira ela ala yayin. That the niviim, the leviim, only say praise. They only sing to Hashem, but only when yayin is brought on the mizbeach. Should I hold back my tirosh? Right, tirosh is grapes, grape juice. That's misameach alekim ba'anoshim. Yeah, that's where it comes from. Tirosh. Yeah. Imanoshim misameach alekim b'mam misameach. Right. If people are happy, so what does Hashem get happy with? Mikan she'ein shira ela ala yayin. So we only say shira to Hashem with yayin. Fine. So that only works according to the Mandomer that says that this pasuk is referring to Neter Ravai, right? But the Mandomer that says that this is referring to only vineyards, not all fruits. What are you going to say? The Itmar Reb Chiya Reb Shimon Rabbi Chad Tani Kerem Ravai, Chad Tani Neter Ravai. One learns that it's only vineyards, and one learns that it's all plantings. So according to Mandomer, it says Karen Ravai, that's all good if you learned out Exer Shava the Tanya. Rabbi Yomer never kan lahaysiv lachem tuasai. It says here to add on to them tuav and never lahalan utvuas hakerem. Mal kerem avkan kerem. Just like over there means a vineyard. So to here means a vineyard. So ayasali chad. So now we have one, meaning that's how we know that it's on yayin. So now we do have one word of chilul to learn. So yasali chad hilul. I'm sorry, not chilul, hilul. But we have the word hillel to learn out that halal, that you have. The word hillel is available now to learn out that you have to make brachos, right? So yasali chad hillel lebracha. The ilo yalav gzeir shava bracha minole. So now let's say you don't learn out gzeir shava. So now you don't have any word hillel. So now how do you know bracha? V'nami yalav gzeir shava. If you're going to learn out gzeir shava ashkan la'acharav. that only tells you have to make a bracha after, like birchas hamazon, right? Lefana minayin, how do you know you have to make a bracha rishayna? So Gemara says, holy kasha, that wouldn't be a kasha. That's a kohanim. We learn out from kohanim. Kishu saveyam avarech. When you're full, you have to thank Hashem. So kishu roiv like kol shekain. Isn't it a kol shekain that when you're hungry, you have to make a bracha? I mean, we're saying that you have to make a bracha once you're full. So in kol shekain, that when you're hungry and you're going to be happy that you're getting food, then you should make a bracha. Ashkechon kerem.
Before you eat.
Right, that's what we're saying. It's a kol shekain. So ashkechon kerem. So this all tells you by a vineyard that you have to make brachos. Shar mina minayin. How do you know that everything other than grapes you make a bracha? The yolov mi kerem that we learn out from kerem. So the Gemara says ma kerem the davar shenene v'tan bracha. Afkal davar shenene. I'm sorry, this is a part of the limud. Just like kerem davar shenene, it's something that you benefit from it. Meaning you eat grapes v'tan bracha, and we see that it requires a bracha. Afkal davar shenene tan bracha. So then everything else that you benefit from any other food is going to need a bracha. But we can ask, but kerem has a different din, that there's something called oilulus. Oilulus is the clusters of grapes that are not fully ripe. So that goes to the aniyan. So maybe those type of things need a bracha, and because there's a chumrah about kerem, but not by other fruits. So as we say kemach techiach. So kemach will tell you, will prove it. But kemach, right, is chayav and chala. So kerem yichiyah. So kerem will prove it. B'chazer adin lo rizek rizeh v'lo rizek rizeh. Hatzad hashava sheben davar shenena v'tam bracha. So the common denominator is that they both kerem and kemach. There's something that you benefit from and needs a bracha. I've called davar shenena tam bracha. So also anything that you benefit from needs a bracha. Then the Gemara asks, but the tzad hashava, they both are brought in the mizbeach. Grapes are brought in the mizbeach, and wheat is brought in the mizbeach. Who says other foods like meat? Well, meat's also brought in the mizbeach, but vegetables are not. So who says vegetables require a bracha? Pasinami zayis, this paid tzad mizbeach. So then we could also learn out though olives, because olives go on the mizbeach. Zayis mitzad mizbeach pasi. Does zayis come from go on mizbeach? Kerem. It says kerem by so maybe that's why the siva yiver megadish vad kama vad kerem zayis. So marapava kerem zayis ikri kerem stama loy ikri. It's called a kerem zayis. It's not called a kerem. Okay, so fine. So now we don't have a proof with zayis. Mikomokum kasha. We still have a kasha. Shabahen. The common denominator is yesh ben tzad mizbeach. That they have a tzad mizbeach. That doesn't teach you anything else that doesn't go on the mizbeach. Elo the olaf lo mishivas aminin. We learn it now from the 7 minin. How do you say minin? From the 7 types of fruits, right? Mas shivas aminin davar shenena v'tam bracha. The shivas aminin we know. Chit eretz chit asayru. We're going to get to this later. And then it says v'chalta v'savato v'rachta. So you see from shivas aminim you have to make brachos. 7 species. Good, yeah. So mal is shivas aminin again. Davar, the second wide line. Yalav, again, I'll go back up. Ela the Yalav lami shivas aminin. Ma shivas aminin, davar shenena v'tam bracha. Af kol davar shenena tam bracha. So Gemara says, okay, ma shivas aminin, shekein chayavim b'bikurim. But shivas aminin, you have to bring bikurim, right? The first fruits have to go to Yerushalayim. So therefore, or to kohanim. So that's maybe why they need a bracha. That only tells you that you have to make a bracha after you eat the fruit. The shivas aminim. Who says you have to make a bracha before? Right, like we said before, we're going to learn out from kal v'chaymer. When he's full, he makes a bracha. When he's hungry, for sure. But so now, according to the Mandam, it says neteravai. That tells you everything that's grown, right? That's planted. The lapar netia, something that's not planted, going basar, right? Meat, beitzim, eggs, dog and fish, minale, right? This is the bailout now. Okay, so if you didn't chop this whole Gemara, which is, I'm not saying I chop it fully myself, but if you didn't chop it, this is the bailout. El svarahu, the reason why you got to make a bracha is a svara. It is asur to benefit from anything in this world without making a bracha. That's maskonas haGemara. So if you get tested, like tonight was the dirshu test on the first 30 block, by the way. If anybody's interested in getting it, taking it. I did not take it. You make money. If you get a good mark, you make some money. Anyways, I don't know. But whatever it is, the maskonas advarim is the reason that you know you make brachos is because it's also l'adam she'ena ma'olam hazeh v'lo brachos. All right, that's enough. That applies to everything. You're not allowed to be nana from anything. That's why we make psamim and we make.
Go skiing.
Oh, so that we're gonna try and discuss later on in the parak. Like what things did they? It has to be something substantial. So skiing is not anything. It's yeah. Anyways, okay. So that's enough for tonight. I'm sorry for the length of the.
Jacob, you said you can't go skiing.
What?
You said you can't go skiing.
He asked me about skiing. I wasn't getting involved whether you could go skiing or not go skiing.
Oh, okay.
You can't get any enjoyment out of this world. Wait. Let's hear this. Why can't you go skiing?
I just think it's dangerous.
So is driving a car in New York.
What?
So is driving a car in New York.
That's true.
I believe. Driving cars also.
Simon, you know.
Not does everybody drive tractors like you, Simon.
Can't all be perfect.
Listen. 1.2 million people died in car accidents in the world a year.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah.
Worldwide, 1.2 million. The Stipler writes this, and I heard it from the Kleiserberger Rebbe and also from Yaakov Kamenetsky, that if cars would have been around in Chazal's times, they would have assered driving because it's too dangerous.
People didn't die on horses?
What?
So why didn't they
Yes, you die on horses too, but not nearly as much.
So why didn't they asser?
Everything. Everybody dies on everything.
By the way, Yaakov, here's a better picture.
Hold on.
Speaking about car accidents.
There you go. No, there's a show and tell.
Was that when Sviakov went off-roading?
What?
No,
Is that what happened when Sviakov went off-roading?
I didn't want to be but I actually have a better picture for you.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, bench and Gaimer is the least of the things. Tzedakah is more important, by the way. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, you didn't tell me? Okay, fine.
Tzedakah is more important.
Anywhere or person in specific or just some?
No, I don't know.
You can give it to me.
Yaakov, how about that one?
Am I around Shabbos? Yeah. That's the shit.
35.
Shir will be by my house. My mother's not going to be home. I guess probably about 3:40, 3:45.
Yaakov, I think this picture is better.
What's that?
Is that Sviakov davening in a field?
I'm davening behind a car, if you noticed.
I know.
That's in a field.
That's in a field. That's my Grand Canyon, right?
Do as I say, not as I do.
Have a steer in the Gemara.
Oh no, it's not Grand Canyon. That's Sedona.
That was outside Sedona.
Oh, that's Sedona. That's Sedona. Yeah, I'm davening behind.
Have a good night, everybody. L'chaim.
Good night.
Wait, so what kind of tzedakah? What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Give Aniyah Yercha comes first. Family members or Aniyah Yercha?
Okay.
She took it your Bible classes.
Well, you got into an accident? Nick, you got into an accident?
Yeah, you didn't see my car?
Oh, you don't look at the picture?
When was that? When?
Right there.
When was that?
Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Hello.
Nice experience doing it live.
Did you hear about this? You can't renew your global entry?
Why not?
You guys talking about it?
Why not?
Trump and Como and Trump and
I can see.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I thought I left.